Alright guys, I'm updating you something about my snake bite. It's not was actually that bad because I am somewhat immune to the rattlesnake bites, but for some reason when I injected with myself with the anti-venom, um, it actually got me sick a little bit. I don't know why, but it did. And I guess it's because of how much venom impacted me. Believe it or not, it was a shallow bite. So it went through my leather chaps, jogging pants, and a thick layer of jeans. These would be the same jeans I would be wearing today. But because I was wearing it, you think I was protected. The snake bit me right here. I was really hurt because what happened was Fang escaped. Fang escaped, Snow Fang, I should say, because she's an eastern diamondback albino rattlesnake, and she's living with one of my relatives right now, and she busted out. I was gonna take inventory. I was gonna go up there anyway to see my relatives, and all of a sudden, I found out she escaped. Well, thank God my cousin, he gave me his leather chaps. He gave me his stuff for snakes, but he didn't expect that snake to go through my leggings like the way it did. And he said, "Matt, did you inject yourself?" And luckily, I had anti-venom on me. It was around my waist just in case if I did get bit by her. And I know what type she was too. But she was sitting right there, curled up underneath my desk where I take inventory for my relatives. And I usually, like to write down what inventory we have about what type of snakes, how much venom and stuff like that. But when I was doing that same chair that I sit on to do that inventory, she ends up biting me. And she went across the room. She can do 1/2 of her length and strike me here. And believe it or not, I can't show the fangs because of one thing. I can't lift up my pant legs because, it's just a shallow bite. But still, I got venomized a little bit. But luckily for my quick thinking and stuff like that, I had my anti-venom. And believe it or not, I am somewhat immune to rattlesnake bites because I keep shooting up the anti-venom inside me every month. So that's why I go to my relatives to go get this immunity shot all the time, so I can get a high intensive. But I wasn't expecting this one to make me sick. So I guess it's been a while since I had been bitten. And, well, you see with the results. I get sick. I was nauseous and dizzy at the same time. But I still ended up getting my snake in her cage. So just letting you all know, I'm fine. I'm doing alright. It's just that it was just a luck of the draw, I guess. But, like I said, there's going to be history coming up. Everybody got sick. I don't get sick unless I really get sick. And let me tell you something, getting sick is the worst fucking thing to do. And like I said, I love snakes. I love all animals. I don't like to kill any animal unless I really need to, like deer and stuff like that. And believe it or not, I do hunt deer, but I don't do it for sport. I just do it for... I don't go and shoot deer after deer after deer. I just shoot whatever I need to shoot and be done. Like the week and stuff like that. I only go.
Do you eat it?
Huh?
Do you eat the food?
Yeah, I do eat the food. I actually eat the food. I'm actually here with Austin right now, and he's behind the camera, and he's filming me. Luckily, he's feeling all right.
But yeah. Yesterday, I really did not feel really that good.
Really?
I had stuffy nose, mucus down my throat, sore throat, not really that well.
And sounds like you had an allergy attack.
Yeah.
I hate allergies myself, and let me tell you something. That season's coming up where I'm gonna sneeze like fucking crazy, and I fucking hate it.
In the beginning of the summer, I sneezed like crazy, like achoo 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 achoo. Then 20 minutes later, achoo. Not like that, but I did sneeze like crazy.
It's ridiculous because every month because the last time I was up at Bruce's, I couldn't get my shots for 3 years, and I think that's another thing that laid back into it. So I have to get back into it slowly, getting my immune shots like I've been. So
Yeah.
the flu shots, I don't get. This COVID shit, it needs to go. Biden, get the fuck out of office and get back Trump in there. Because before I lay the smackdown on your lazy ass, you Sleepy Joe. That's your new name now, Sleepy Joe. How you fucking doing? Get the fuck out of office. Now, snappy. Like I said, people, I don't like Joe Biden. I don't like the guy. I always hated that type of people. I want him out of office because he's not doing any good for our country. He's actually hurting it more than helping it. And right now with President Trump, when he was doing it, he shut down all the borders, which was great because we didn't have no problems at all. Now we have all this bullshit to deal with.
Yeah. And I went back to masks on Tuesday, and that was annoying. I had to wear a face shield because I don't. It's been a while since
he's gonna try to kill us slowly with those masks on.
Yeah, my friend.
I tell you, you know what, people? To beat Biden, do not go back to school. You want to know exactly what to do, and I'm gonna tell everybody this: go to cyber school. That way, you guys don't have to wear a fucking mask. Just go to cyber school, get done. Don't even bother until Biden's out of office. You can get your masks off and everything else because this is getting ridiculous. I don't care if the government tries to shut me down, and I don't care what that freaking cunt says either. I really don't like her either.
Harris
and somebody else's mother. I heard what she said about my channel. Well, piss off, woman.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm not in a very good mood. When I get pissed off, I get poised. And when I get poised, I get very venomous.
That's
like I said,
the name, Venomous Rattler.
Now you're seeing the venomous rattlesnake king himself getting unhinged. This isn't raw, uncut footage. When I get pissed off about something, I'm going to tell you straight to the camera. I don't give a fuck. I'm more crazy than you think I am. And I don't give a shit. I'll put somebody's snakes in those beds if I had to. But I don't feel like doing that. Not unless I want to. But anyway, people, I'm going to close this out. I'm just giving you
Wait, I want to tell you about the mask. My friend, it's actually David's cousin, told me that I'm pretty sure his brother wore masks. The vapor that comes back in got abscess on his lungs because of the masks.
Yeah, it's going to slowly kill him. That's why I said, get the masks off, people. Get the masks off. Do not wear them anymore.
Get face shields.
Or
the face shields are better because you don't have to have your mask.
No. Go to cyber school.
I went to cyber school. It was hard. I
know it's hard, but you guys got to start studying harder. Start looking up stuff on the internet.
I did. I still got bad grades. It's only good for a few people, like smart people. I'm not smart. Well, I'm smart, but I'm not.
Just look up stuff. See, like I said, when I was back in school, I ain't gonna lie, people, I wasn't the smartest. I carried a calculator in math. How many people does that shit?
A lot of people.
No, not really. Not this one. I wasn't allowed to use one, but I used one anyway behind everybody's back. I didn't give a shit.
You know who Rattler is. He's crazy. He doesn't give two craps.
No, I even hid it right behind the teacher's desk and just went...
like a phone.
That's how I kept on passing. But if I didn't pass it, I'd give it to somebody else. Yep. That's why I said I was smart than anybody else. But with history, I aced. I did that on my own. Mythology, I aced.
I have college prep history.
Oh, I love that. So that's why I said history is much more important, because if you don't study your history and you don't study for anything else, you're not going to get far. Trust me, because sometimes they say history does repeat itself, and you got to start learning everybody's history, because if you don't learn history, yeah, it may be boring, but let me tell you something.
It's
If this
interesting.
bullshit starts up again, if you don't know our country's history, you're fucked.
Yeah. And that's
Because, like
the
I
truth.
said, history has a point to repeating itself.
Yep.
And they say, oh, history's in the past. No, it's just new weapons, new viruses, and everything else. You start learning history, you start learning.
Spanish flu, right?
No, the
But-
Black Plague.
When was that?
That was back in the 1600s. Killed thousands of Englishmen and women. We are not. If you look up the Black Plague, it killed everybody. The rats were the carriers.
Oh, okay.
So if they got in your food, you died of a horrible death. It was called the Black Death because if you looked at the people's eyes, they'd start turning black.
Okay.
Their eyes started turning black. Their mouths started turning black, and they had black blood coming out of their mouths. That's why it was called the bubonic plague, the Black Plague. It was not fun. You had boils, you had leprosy, you had all the stuff that you know. This Black Plague was nothing like the
Corona.
coronavirus, but it still
And
was bad.
back-
There was no cure.
Yeah, and back then there's less medical knowledge and medical good stuff. So they died a bad death because there was no medical stuff.
Well,
to
not only that,
prevent it.
there was plague victims also in Italy too. Like I said, if you got to learn history, you got to start learning from the top.
Make it
like-
drop.
But like I said, the 1400s, the 1300s, they were all the worst type of plagues.
What about the plague from like the Jesus's time?
That would be the creeping death. You've heard of that one, right? Back in Jesus' time, there was a plague, and it was pestilence. I mean,
pestilence. I heard of that in like Supergirl. Someone gets scratched and
well, not only that, there's boils. There's
how did they get it?
that it was also caused by rats, and also for the wrath of God, because God didn't like the pharaohs how they were treating. So what they do is they killed their firstborn sons. So you look at the age of man. So you had to draw a white line of salt across your doors in order for them not to come and get in your home. And it was believe it or not, it was the angel of death.
Oh god.
That's why there was an angel of death back at that time. That's why they said creeping death. That was that was not the angels killing them. That was actually the angel of death. That was one of our
Satan?
Huh?
Satan?
No, it was not Satan. Satan was a beautiful angel back in those times. This was, if you're going to talk about Lucifer and all that stuff, you go back before, like, the year 0. That's when it was. But like I said, if you want to start searching for stuff like that, like demonology and...
Go get him.
Aww.
My doggy.
Yeah, Nate's here with me. How you doing, Nate?
Just went for a walk. That's usually a good thing.
How was your concert for Guns N' Roses?
Oh, the concert was fine, but everything else sucked.
Let me guess.
Everything that went bad pretty much did.
Let me guess. For Guns N' Roses?
What?
Was the concert good or is...
Yeah, Guns N' Roses, the concert part was fine. Everything else, like trying to get into the hotel, trying to get to the concert, trying to get food before the concert,
sucked?
well, not being able to use cash at the concert, like you had to,
Yeah.
you can't, like
Because of COVID.
you had to use it's all credit there. You can't.
Oh
use
my
cash.
God! I heard about that. I heard we're all switched over to credit cards now.
That's because of COVID, because have your hand all over the dang freaking dollar bills.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I hated that, because I went at the Pirates.
Ah,
It's not like
Come
if they got
on.
that card that it could,
exactly.
Yeah.
Dumbasses. We need to get Biden out.
You know my grandma was over there. She likes Biden.
I think we need to get Mitch McConnell out too. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. We already got Ron, whatever, but definitely.
We need to get Nancy Pelosi out. We need to get Biden out. We need to get Harris. Get Trump back in.
Well, we definitely need to get rid of what's his face, Mitch McConnell. He's a piece of shit too.
We need to get rid of all Democrats and put all Republicans in.
Mitch McConnell.
You need to get all the Republicans in there. Forget the Democrats. Outlaw them. Democrats are more of a communist type deal than the Republicans. The Republicans actually care about us. When you look at the freaking Democrats, they're nothing but demo shits. I ain't gonna lie, people. It's what it is and it's how it is.
It is what it is. It's a meme.
They all need to be bitten by rattlesnakes, honestly.
My grandma was a Democrat.
Oh, God.
My dad's
Republican.
I'm pretty sure he's a third party. I want to be a third party because I'm more neutral. I don't really care.
I'm not. I'm a Republican, so there.
I won't be neutral. I don't care about this crap. But if I like somebody that's in like...
I'm sorry, but I love being a Republican, so there.
No, I can't, if you think about it, we need, if it's like a guy, like the guy from, was it Santos from Florida, or the other dude from Florida, that'd be okay. But Mitch McConnell, he's so establishment, he needs to get out of there. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter he's a Republican or not. He's establishment, and you know it. And
it's more like, I hate to say what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And what that is, it's ridiculous.
You need to be you need a progressive style Republican and a actual liberal Democrat, as opposed to these far left, end of the world, whatever their problem is, because everybody.
Yeah, the Illuminati.
No, not them. The ones that sit there and claim that everybody, the ones that actually want to start segregation again, because it's pretty obvious.
Like I said, if they're gonna keep this up, the left is what's gonna happen is there's gonna be a civil war.
If the Republicans didn't give the corporations that power, the Democrats would have never had the power to actually take over, the Googles and the pharma, because it's pretty obvious that those Democrats are being paid off to help the establishment and the corporations, and so it was sort of both parties' fault on this thing.
Well, right now Nancy Pelosi needs to get the fuck out of there. That bitch needs to go. She said it's her house, not the people's.
Mm-hmm.
And
she actually literally said that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she actually said it on YouTube.
Do you see? I'm sorry, but that was pretty authoritarian, whatever Biden said about making people take the vaccines, because that's actually fascism, Austin. When you use the power of the corporations and the government to control the people, that's fascism. That's not democracy, and that's not independence. They're literally trying to use fascism. The very thing that they said that Trump was doing is what they're actually doing. They said that Trump was doing this, and if they would do it, then Trump was the reason for it. But no, they're the ones who are actually doing it. And it's like, how do you...
Exactly. How do you know? You can't get rid of Trump. He's not going to go away that easy.
No, but I'm just saying, that was so... It was so easy to
Trump
villainize
was the
Trump.
guy.
I hate Trump, but I finally realized what he meant or what he stood for. But I actually like him now better than any Democrat.
We're not. Trump was actually. We're not. People are starting to see it. That's why they want Nancy Pelosi, Harris, and Biden out of there. Mm-hmm. They want all of them out. So when they get all these Republicans in, This is why the left side is going to
No,
be.
and it's so sad because like if AOC didn't start to follow the establishment, she might actually be an all great person. I know her Green New Deal is stupid, but at least we need somebody to. We see changes here. You know what I mean? But you could tell that she's been turned into a sheep for the establishment.
Yeah, and it's
And none of her progressive ideas won't even make any of the.
No.
I honestly, like, with the way we pay tax and everything, there should be no reason that people shouldn't have, like, access to healthcare without going into debt. Period.
Exactly, and I heard that we're going to be paying,
being able to live in your own home without going into debt. You know, it's pretty much that's how the establishment and the banks have made it for everybody. You know, like,
and that's what Trump was against.
no, Trump didn't help with those tax breaks.
No,
because we all know most of those tax breaks went to the super rich, and none of that really does.
Well, you know
But
what though.
you know, he would probably, if you actually look at it, Trump would probably be actually, if Trump used his mind and did not want the other people to sit there and listen to him, he could have been the one that said, we're doing, universal income. We're the ones going to be doing, this new kind of health care. But of course, he always had those idiots convince him, oh, you can't do that. But Trump had his own independent mind. He probably would, he would do that before Biden would. You know what I mean? Because he's not establishment, unlike Biden. Because I like it how they say, oh, we're going to, what is it? The Democrats say that they're going to, what is it? The student loan shit. You know what I mean?
Get on your dad.
Like, I hate that.
This is the real reason why we discuss politics now. This is the real reason why Trump should be back in office today, honestly. Because if he goes back in there, he's going to destroy all the corruption. Because when he said he's going to get back in there, he's going to destroy all that corruption. He's going to stir it all up.
No, I just hope he has a better plan and he actually
he will.
No, but like I said, like when it comes to student loan things, I like how they sit there. We're going to make all these cuts and you're not going to have this much loans. That is like one of the worst systems ever. Like, how does, if this was such a perfect system, why are so many people with $1 trillion in debt not being able to pay off their student loans? And even when they do pay them, it actually does nothing to actually reduce their loans. It's like the biggest bank scam in the world, and we're all getting screwed by it.
Well, we're getting fucking the ass either way.
And so they'll tell, like I said, they'll be like, oh, if you vote for me, we're going to reduce your student loan debt. Have they done anything yet? Nope.
No, they won't do that because there's so much corruption in the system, and they are more like for more
corporations and banks.
Yeah, exactly. And they just want
this country is no longer about we the people. It's about we the
power. We the power that want to dominate and kill people.
Are you ready to end the video?
Divide us so we kill each other. They know how to do that.
Well,
really good at that.
It's gonna
that's what the internet's good for.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. That's why I said, people, get on your history. Start learning your own history because pretty soon we're going to be reliving our history again.
What, World War II or Civil
War? No. We're going to go into the Civil War. Oh, no,
come on, you think about it, you realize if you look at the way, Trump was against China, right?
Yes.
The country needs to do is to treat China the way China treats us, you know what I mean? They shouldn't own if we can't own any property in China, then why should they be allowed to own our property in the United States? But you know what? The Republicans and the Democrats sold practically all our resources. Like AMC theaters owned by China, right?
Yes.
Okay, you ready to end out the video so I can
Hollywood
go and upload it?
Kiss up to China. It makes you
They're
wonder.
the kiss ass.
Like the NBA, you heard of China James?
Oh my God. You know what? Here's another thing. People, if you're following sports, I hate to tell you this, it's all government propaganda just to hide the truth from other things, what they're going to do. That's why I said the Cleveland Indians even had to change their fucking name to the Guardians.
I never knew that.
Or the Avengers, whatever.
Well, come on, Austin. You know about the Washington Redskins becoming the Washington football team because a bunch of crybabies think that it's like...
It's all racism.
It's not racism.
No.
It's all racist to say that, oh, we shouldn't have that name. That's why
And they tore down all the statues. Then we have all this fucking Black Lives fucking matters.
I have no. If the community wants to just take down their statues or whatever, send it to Gettysburg, because you can send it there because that's where they belong. You know what I mean? If this Confederate statue offends you, send it to Gettysburg, because Gettysburg is the city of where all those things belong, no matter what people say. There's no way.
And knowing that, there's other battlefields too that
like
they
Harper's
can send them.
Ferry, right?
And Fort Sumter.
Mm-hmm.
Fort Sumter was the beginning of our first battle. And believe it or not, Lee did not want. Now here's the thing. I want to give you something about it. Something about General Lee.
Mm-hmm.
He did not want to fight against the United States, but he didn't want to let his own people down. So he decided to command the southern states. So that's,
no, there's actually a saying by Robert E. Lee. He literally said, "Don't make statues of me because I'm not a hero." He literally said that. Like, there's somewhere, like, if you research, I'm pretty sure
he
said,
was a humble guy.
He did not want people to make statues of him as if he was like some kind of hero. Like, he literally didn't. At the end, that's all I know.
But literally they did, though. They actually did.
And obviously they had their reasons back then, and they weren't probably very nice. But you know, like I said, if a community doesn't like their statues, get rid of it. Send it to Gettysburg, you know, or somewhere that where you have these things that they need to show what happened during the war.
But here's the thing, though. They tore down a statue in a library in New York, and they tore it down with the Indian, the Pilgrims, and stuff like that. That's ridiculous.
Oh, that is kind of dumb.
That was, and it was showed also a black person with the Indian and the Pilgrims, because we were actually friends with them when we ended the war.
So, I mean, and the stupid thing is, if you think, well, maybe there was so much diversity back then, and obviously you had one side versus the other, you know, and it'd always be a conflict, and we're trying to get better, and we have been getting better, but they try to claim that we're not, which is so stupid.
And it was all this Black Lives Matter bullshit, which I believe Biden created.
No, Biden didn't create that. Somebody who wanted money. That's all it is. It's basically anybody who's part of that movement and has their own mansion somewhere. Just goes to show you, it was all about them trying to make money off of people. So, you know, you donate to this Black Lives Matter. Look at my new mansion, suckers. And that's literally what it was. These people have found a way to get funded through this Black Lives Matter, and now they have mansions in their own homes to live nice, while everybody sits there and kind of fights over it. Because Black Lives do matter, but it's the whole program, the way it's set up, is a complete scam.
Exactly, and I think somebody had a hand in that because of this George Floyd bullshit.
Is this on YouTube or something?
Yeah, it is.
You know they're probably gonna strike down
I don't give a fuck.
Do they ever strike down your videos?
Oh, I don't give a fuck.
Do they ever?
No, because
they did not.
What are your views like usually?
Pretty good.
They're actually pretty decent.
I'm pretty sure it's average as much as you get like on the Rattler.
How many subscribers?
On my own channel, I have like 15, but I'm hoping to climb that up.
Yeah,
How long have you been doing this for?
Well, it was between me and Sean. We've been doing it. I'm just starting
for this channel. Like I'm pretty sure like a few months.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, I'm more of a Democrat than a Republican. Do you know that? But I've sat there and I've watched how everything has played out, and it's insane that like I hated Trump. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't stand the dude, but I couldn't understand, like, every time I turned on the TV, every single day, every night. I love Stephen Colbert. He was awesome. He was funny. I learned about baby metal because of Stephen Colbert. You know, you know how much I love baby metal, right?
Oh, everybody loves baby metal.
Well, anyways, like, for some reason, that's all he ever talked about anymore. And, like, it was funny at first, but then it just, like, how do these people just constantly, like, they just won't stop? Like, don't you have anything else to actually talk about? And for some reason, that's all that they worried about, their ratings and talking about Trump, instead of actually starting to tell the truth. You know, it was so easy to, like that whole thing where he went to that church and they, you know, gassed all those people. Like, he had nothing to do with it. They were already planning to do that because the people were vandalizing that church there.
Exactly.
And he just happened to be walking at that point. And of course, the media was like, "Oh, this is a terrible thing that Trump was going to do." And you're like, those plans were literally done by the Park and Recreation, and Trump had nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
So it was somebody. It was a Park and Recreation who said, "We need to do this," and it was not Donald Trump's orders. But of course, the media saw this opportunity to blame it all on Trump because he happened to have his picture taken at that church. And
But you know something, it wasn't all him. It wasn't really, he was trying to get those, but somebody did a half-assed job of sending those troops back home.
no, obviously that's not his fault. But you know what? The thing about the Taliban and thing, like, that actually could have been Trump's idea in the first place. I don't know. It might, like, if you think about it, like, the Taliban was not going to leave no matter what. You know what I mean?
But
But the way it all comes out, it's always an opportunity for the Republicans to sit there and say, you know, Biden, you're a terrible person. But he did a terrible job of actually getting the people out. But as far as the Taliban part, that means that may have been, because if you think about it, Trump was the one who was trying to go to North Korea and talk to whatchamacallit, but he's a terrible person for doing it. But, you know, in order to get us from, you know, from our conflict to our peace, you have to go over there and talk to Kim Jong-un. You have to sit there and negotiate with the Taliban. You know what I mean? But like I said, the parties take advantage
Get
of
me for president. I really destroy things.
We all know,
So-
Matt.
Why not? That'd be the best idea.
I said we all know because you're crazy.
Like I said,
What's the matter with that? Just send a missile full of snakes and they'll be done.
I just don't understand. Like,
Hey, can
the
you?
one thing, like,
Snake
like I
warfare.
said, like, I could see Trump maybe negotiating with the Taliban, but I don't think he would have been dumb enough to leave all the equipment there.
No.
You know what I mean?
Somebody did a half-assed job of doing that.
So, like, I mean, because I'm pretty sure Trump would have been like, nope, we're taking all the equipment, but if we have to negotiate with the Taliban, you know what I mean? Instead, we're, you know, basically, that's a Reagan tactic right there. Like, basically, that's, how do you think Osama bin Laden became in power? Because people like Carter and Reagan gave them weapons, and now we go fight with them. It's just so stupid. And that's what Biden just did, and, you know, I don't think Trump would have been dumb enough to let weapons. So.
No, he wouldn't leave those choppers behind, and we would have to destroy our own weaponry. I would see us destroying our own weapons. That's the whole point. Not leaving our weapons behind.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to bomb them or send them back home. Dumbass.
Okay, can we end the video so I can go put it up?
Yeah.
Just to say.
Alright, people. Like, subscribe, and don't forget, stay venomous, people. And let me tell you something. This is history, politics, and Biden's still a fucking jackass no matter how fucking you look at it.
Okay.
So, piss off, Biden. Leave our people alone. And Nancy Pelosi, if I had to on YouTube, I'd pull my pants down and tell you to kiss it. So,
No.
we're ending this.
No, I'd say
Peace
Biden,
out.
grow some balls.